Welcome back everyone. So we are comfortable with sets, basics of sets now. In this video we'll see how to add or remove data from sets. So I have created a set for you already that contains stages of well that are exploration and appraisal. Now the next step is now the next stage is the production stage. So I just want to add a production string here inside my sets. So how would I add it? I'll simply use my add method. Syntax is again very simple. You just simply write stages well, that is your set name. You write add method, and inside add method you just write whatever you want to add. So I just want to add here development. So now if I print my stages underscore well, that is my set. So this is how development has been added inside my set. Again, it is of unordered collection, so it will give me a random order. Now let us try to add any two things inside my set. I'll create just another set here. Let's say I have ABCU and my set is my not ABC, just A. Now my set name is 1 2 and these are my set elements, right? 1 2 5. I want to add 3 and 4 here. 3 and 4 are missing, right? So what I'll do simply is a dot add. I'll write what I want to add is 3 comma 4 and 3 comma 4, and I'll simply print my set A. This gives me error. This is because in add method what we can do is we can just add a single element at a time. Okay, so we can just add a single element at a time. That is why it is giving me error. Okay, now so is there any other way so that we can add multiple items? Yes, there is a way. We can use update method. How can we use update method? I'll just print A here again. Let's see what it is. It will still be 1 to 5. So by update method what I do is I'll simply write my set name. So my set name is A dot update, and inside this update parenthesis I'll write a list of my elements, multiple items which I want to. So I'll create a list of my elements, that is my 3 and 4. Now if I print A here, you can see 3 and 4 has been added. One more thing you can do is it is not necessary that you always pass a list. Now let's say I want to add 6 7 8 9. You can also pass a tuple inside this. So my tuple will be 6 7 8 9. So this is my tuple and I just want to print it again. So this is how you can use update method. Now let us try to add a string inside my A. Now if A dot update, and if I add my string name is let's say my string name is ABC. Okay, and now if I print my A, so you see what is happening here. Now this it has split down the ABC into each characters A, B and C. Why this is happening? Because this is a important point. Just make notice of this one, that whenever you write a update, inside the parenthesis of update you always enter a iterator. So what a iterator is, that iterable, there is a difference between iterable and iterator. I'll tell you in the coming videos what is difference. For just of as of now you can just understand it as a let's you know that we run a loop, right? We can run a loop in list also. Let's say my list is B is my list 1 2 3, and if I run a loop in my list and I print every function on my this one, this will print me down 1 2 3. This will print me down 1 2 3 each elements of list. And similarly if I change it to a tuple, I'll get the similar results, right? And now let's say so this is known as a iterable, means we are running just a for loop here. So it is just what is doing is it is just unpacking the whole tuple or a whole list, and is unpacking into single elements, and hence it is printing me down a single elements. Now let's say I've also told you we can run for loop in any loop in a string also. So let's say I just change it to a string. my string this time becomes ABC, and if I run a loop here now, it will again divide it into down, unpack into each elements, that is A, B and C. So what update method does is, update method takes a iterable here, means which we can iterate over. So that is why if we take list, it was splitting it down to the each elements in the cases of list as well as tuples, and similarly it will do the same as in the case of a string also. This is how a update method works. Now let us try to remove some items. Now I have a list of 5, okay, different porosities, but I have a element, a character B here as well. I want to remove this. You just simply use remove method, 5.remove, and I'll say I want to remove B. So I'll write B here, and now if I print my phi, you see the B has been removed, and also the elements which were repeating, this it is also repeating here just a single time, because that's what set does. Now let's say I just want to add again, I want to add a element C here. So I have added C this time. Now what I want to do is, I want to use a discard method to remove C. Let's see what discard method is. I'll just simply write here, I'm going to discard method. So I'll do phi dot discard and C. Okay, just I made a spelling mistake here. Discard. Now, and if I print my phi, it has removed the C as well. So this is a similarity between a remove method and a discard method, but let's see what is the difference between them. Now this is my phi, right? Let's say I just want to remove, using remove method, I want to remove any element which is not there inside this set. So I know that there is not, let's say 555. So 555 is not there in my set 5. So let's see what happens now, what it gives us the output. This gives me an error because the 555 is not there. Right now, if I use the discard method this time for removing 555, okay, again a spelling mistake, I'm so sorry guys. Discard. So this gives me nothing. So again it gives me no error, although 555 will not be get removed from my set because it is not there, but this time I'm not getting any error also. So this is a difference between a remove method and a discard method. And clear method is very simple. You just simply write phi dot clear. It will clear down your set. If I print my phi, I have shown it in your different data structures as well. I'm not repeating copy method also. It does the same. It will just create another copy of a set. So this is all about this video guys, and in next lecture we'll see that you have you have already done that set theory in mathematics in your earlier classes 11 12, that how a union happens, how a intersection happens between two or multiple sets. So that is what we are going to see in next video, and how can we do that in Python. So stay tuned, and thank you for joining.